Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of My Solo Chronicles. And in today's episode, I wrap up my conversation with Wells Jones. Sit back and relax and enjoy.
So we wanted to raise money because we decided we need to go there.
Right.
We'll follow T.E. Lawrence's path.
Mm.
And why are we using Lawrence? Because he loved the culture.
Right.
He understood the different tribes. And yes, it's like Family Feud. The tribes were warring against themselves,
Right.
but they weren't warriors.
Right.
They weren't trained,
Right.
soldiers.
Right.
And they liked him. He could speak Arabic.
Okay.
The biggest thing, April,
Yeah.
he didn't try to change them.
Mm.
He let them be who they were.
Right.
Liked them where they were, who they were,
Right.
in there and
In there.
without interference.
Exactly. Yeah.
They were trying to get away from the Turks, who were vicious at the time to these people.
Right.
And so he thought, this is great.
Right.
They'll have independence, and I get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Underneath him, he was undermined by all these agreements. So
Right.
we wanted to do a play, and we wanted to go there to see for ourselves with our own eyes. And we decided we'd raise money for this trek
Okay.
that we ended up doing in 2006.
Okay.
And the same model we used for Kayak for a Cause.
Okay.
And we gave 25% of the funds that we raised.
Okay.
We didn't need a lot of money like we did
Right.
for Kayak for a Cause.
Okay.
Kayak for a Cause, with the 313 kayaks, raised enough money to have the Neville brothers on stage, to have a huge party for, a couple of thousand people.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And then to write checks,
Right.
$50,000 each, to charities, all raised by the kayakers.
Wow. No wonder you're in the Guinness book. That's awesome.
And so we thought we needed to find an organization
Yeah.
that rallied around our mission. We found out about Seeds of Peace,
Right.
and it was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
The organization that brings Palestinian and Israeli kids together.
Yeah.
Maine, to deal with conflict resolution, have workshops, live together,
Right.
tell stories.
Exactly.
It's been going since 1993, I believe was the year.
Yep,
And
it was founded. Yep, 1993. And it in the beginning, it started actually in a camp in Maine with 47 students. Yeah.
That in Maine they changed their location to a different place. I don't know if they used to be on a lake. And well, when we saw it, we just couldn't believe how perfect that was.
Right.
To give, money to them. And we said, well, let's get in touch with the person in charge.
Right.
And the person in charge at the time was Janet Wallach, who is John Wallach's wife.
Okay.
And this is in '05, or maybe it was '06 when we actually met her. It was right in that time frame.
Okay.
She was thrilled.
Oh.
She said, "Do you mean the two of you are going to follow T.E. Lawrence's path all the way from Jeddah up to Damascus?" And we said, "That's our intention."
Yeah.
And we're going to raise money to do it. And we did a donation to Seeds of Peace.
Right.
And she said, "This is brilliant. This is wonderful."
Right.
And she helped us. She said, "Now, we have different chapters. We have offices in Jeddah, an office in Amman, and in Damascus, or people placed in there, and especially in Jerusalem. And there are people that work out of these offices, or these just little outlets, that have been to the camp.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd like to meet them and talk and hear their stories."
Yeah.
Wonderful. I mean, we met Abdullah Durandary and Abdullah, he'd just been in the camp the year before. He's a kid.
Right.
He's 17 years old.
Right.
And he's an Arab guy. And he's just like, "Oh, yeah, hi, Miles and Dad." And I was going by the name Dad. My accent. And, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you." He says, "You've got to meet my father." My father would love to meet you.
Yeah,
And so he took his flip phone and called his dad.
Yeah.
And Osama came to meet us.
Okay.
Osama's it's based on Osama, but that was the first Seeds of Peace camper that we met, and to be able to talk to him about it, to be able to talk, and so meeting him and meeting others, some women, and other men, and to meet them, they became the characters Jeremy and Abdul in our story. Jeremy's Jewish, Abdul is Muslim, and it was kind of amalgamation of people to create these characters. Jeremy there is a real Jeremy.
There is a real Jeremy. Is there, in the beginning, speaking of the characters, and you actually just, because that was going to be my next question, like what adventures or what was the concept behind writing a book for you and Miles? You actually just answered it. And as I was listening to the book, it was like, are these real people, these characters? So because there's like, it's almost like when you and Miles wrote this book, there was history and real life that created this amazing story. I said it's almost like all the destinations that you and Miles had traveled to, you formed this book because it was almost like a puzzle. You start with one at the very beginning of the book, that's one piece. But as you listen to the book, or if you read the book, you're literally putting together puzzle pieces. Was that the concept originally that you and Miles was going for?
Well, first I'll address the historical fiction and how it's listed. And that was a choice, a very strong choice to go that direction. We had been working on the play where I told you about meeting a Broadway producer.
Right.
Well, we've 4 different writers, all known, accomplished writers. 3 were British and their names, and there's no need to get into who they were, but it didn't work out. We didn't get from them, after the commissioning them to write this, what we needed. And now we have something 20 years later. We have some 20 years, 19. With a woman, and she's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're still engaged and going forward with that. The historical fiction was better because we'd found in all the different versions of the play, and some with, dramatic license and, it's just belief in the play. And we wanted it to be no spin.
Just straightforward.
Because we're doing an understanding for the play, an understanding of how we got into this Middle East mess through real life characters. Lawrence, Bell, and Emir Faisal is the main people, and then other individuals that are bigger than life already. And so we don't make them something, and so we let that be the nonfiction side with dramatic license. And we realized we didn't want to just do straightforward, we went from here to here, and then we saw this and saw that. We wanted an entertaining book that would bring people in to understand, that wouldn't normally read. An educational book, a biography on nonfiction. So we came up with, Miles came up with the idea for the time travel device.
Which I think is awesome. I like how, I know with audiobooks, it says present day, or it says, it'll say the year like 19, blah, 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 or 18, blah, 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 or 17, blah, 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 to present day, and it tells you whatever that location is. I love that the book actually does that, because you can kind of understand, in order to understand the present, you have to understand the past. And I like how you brung that all together. So
that's a very true statement. To understand the present, you have to understand the past. And so the idea was to lure people in to engage in these 2 guys that are on a sleuthing adventure. And you know what? It just, because of the locations, that the organization was simple.
Yeah.
Now, what do we want to say about Jeddah? What do we want to say about Paris? What do we want to say about, what do we want to say?
Syria, Jerusalem. Yeah.
Right. And then as far as the characters, we knew we had to have the young people, the younger thought. Right. We're grown.
Right.
You know, I was 50 years old when I went traipsing through the desert with Miles on camel and doing all this. It was great. Yeah. We need to have a younger thought. We need to include the Abdullahs, like I was talking about. Yeah. You know, there were many others, so we just kept it down to two. Okay. Basically, Sinjin also, you know, he's the volleyball player.
Yeah.
He's a Scooby-Doo. Hey, dude. Yeah, dude. But that was, he's based on a character.
Yeah, he's based on a real character. Yeah. My biggest thing. My biggest thing was, I remember I said to you, I was like, I don't know about the one character, Baba, and you kind of gave me a look like, just keep reading, but because she's kind of suspect. But then as I kept listening to the audiobook, the story started to form, and then I started to understand. There's characters connected to her. At first I was like, wow. But if you think about like how it is now where families are separated, I will say that, because she does have, there's, like I said, there's two other characters that are connected to Baba.
Yes, they're sisters.
Yeah. And I was just like, how were they sisters? But then, I can't think, oh my gosh, I can't think of the one sister's name, but she explains how they are related and how they separated. And I was like, okay, well, she's not suspect then. Because I was starting to wonder about her. She just seemed kind of odd to me. But then, like I said, the story started to take shape. So, yeah.
But they all cook. And that was the thing.
They all cooked.
They all did.
And it's almost, I think if they each took recipes from the family and made their own dish. So I was just like, that's how it is now, you know, where families are torn apart and they take a little something from, you know, the bigger family, you know, the tradition. So
fabric.
Yeah.
And so all of that is, that's in there.
Yeah.
And the seeds of peace, we call it seeds of hope in the book.
Yep.
The desire to have historical fiction instead of just, a nonfiction is the entertain as we inform. So
that's true.
Whether someone says, well, is he real or they real? Their story is real.
Yeah. Yep. Because
was there really Osama? Was there really a Jeremy? Yeah. Well, there's, a portmanteau of all. It's an amalgamation of people and ideas representing a group, and it's authentic to what we experience.
Exactly.
And the anxieties, the concerns. What am I going to do? How am I going to feel? Yeah. They're based on a story. Talking to a man that's, now at the time he was in his 30s, he's older. And as a camper, and he was Israeli. And someone said, oh, so-and-so's here. Maybe he would be willing to talk with you. Right. And he was told, whatever he was told, when we saw him, he was very closed-mouthed. Oh, and we said, I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
He was just quiet. It was very quick. And there was no need to pressure him, other than saying, hey, it's very nice to meet you. We're going through, we've met some other campers. Did you enjoy going to that camp? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Did you make friends?
Right.
Yes. Did you make friends with Palestinians?
Right.
Of course. Yes. I said, and this was the hard part. I was like, oh, now I'm going to say, you went into the IDF when you got out of camp.
Wow.
And he goes, yes, like that.
Yeah.
I said, did you find there was any conflict for you after having through the camp?
Wow.
And he was just thinking, and he said, have you stayed in touch with the people?
Right.
Your Muslim friends?
Right.
Yes. He just said, I would do anything, and I have done anything I can to help my friends there.
Nice.
When I could. And we put it in as the phone calls and the people being warned. If someone was in harm's way, I would do anything I could to protect them.
Wow.
And so we didn't know, but we thought, hey, he could have called them and said, leave.
Right.
We're coming in.
Exactly.
Get out of it.
Yeah.
Something similar to that.
Yeah.
And so, which is not out of range of the possible at all. No, that was about the extent of the conversation. There was no way to continue talking to him because he wasn't interested.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like he was blocking that part of that part of his memory that he doesn't want to talk about anything like that. Yeah.
Well, he had it was a conscience thing.
Yeah.
And we were trying to pry into his personal stuff. And some people, they will just like an outpouring. Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't believe how I felt.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. This man was not that way at all. He was very self-contained and he wasn't going to give anything away. But he was kind enough to say hello. And, we sure... I said we're we've given money to Seeds of Peace in order for us to do our track when we're doing our tracking, and Janet Wallach, and he knew who I was talking about. Just the doors for us to meet a few people, and we've met some wonderful campers. It's been a real pleasure. It's nice to meet you. Goodbye. That was that.
Yeah. Wow. So it was like a door was open slightly for you to get the information. Well, the most information you could get. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What I got was a young man. I mean, he was a young man to me.
Yeah.
That clearly had his conscience and his heart, and he had been in conflict about it, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult.
Yeah. And I mean,
he said yes.
He's probably, I guarantee you, he's seen things, like you said, that it's almost like you feel like if I could have did more. So he's seen things that it's just like sometimes some people can talk about it, and like you said, some people just block it. They don't want to try to remember it because it brings up too much negative emotions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Travel there was incredible,
Yeah.
And the book, we decided to write the book. So we did the trek in 2006.
Okay.
After a great deal of preparation. We didn't go in blind. I mean, this is two guys going into an area of conflict and going into Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was tagged as the 9/11 terrorist. Yeah. But, there were Egyptians. There were other people involved. But he was the bulk.
Right.
And we found that the people there had such contrition, almost to a person. I mean, when they found out that we were American, the first thing that came out of their mouth is, we're so sorry about 9/11.
Yeah.
We feel so bad about 9/11.
Yeah.
And, all of it, we're not all like that at all.
Yeah.
We both like that. They were terrorists.
Right.
You are terrorists. Yeah. But they were very careful, and we said, please forgive us.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, like, that kind of segues into the one question I have for you, especially listening, to the book. Like, any unexpected moments, whether they were good or bad, that really shaped like that part, like just traveling in that part of the country? Like, was there anybody that you came across that, because you and Miles were American, some people, you got good experience on one end where people said we're not all like that, we apologize, but did you two experience any negative because you were American traveling in that country? Did you experience any negative moments?
It's very interesting. If you say negative, I'm translating that into aggressive, negative, aggressive moments.
Yeah.
No, we were truly a third party.
Okay.
Right up to a very high level prince that invited us to have dinner. And when he did, after we had sat and been, allowed to be a part of his majlis, which is where the sheikhs come in from the desert, and they talk with the prince. The prince is at one end of the room, and it's a big hall, and these sheikhs. It's just a lineup of, it almost looks like it's a Hollywood movie of Bible or the robe or, some biblical movie, because these men, they're all men, beards, wraps, staffs, big girths. They just all looked biblical.
Right.
But they're the wealthy men of the desert and camel owners, and they're reporting to the prince on what's going on. They're the eyes and ears of the desert. And so reporting to him at this monthly meeting. Any disputes, and we were guests. Okay. And it didn't look, it's just not something that's standard, and certainly being Americans. Afterwards, he came out, it was at night, and there was misty outside, and he came through with his entourage and stopped. We went out a different door, and he was coming through, going to his quarters in his palace, in his area, and he knew our names. And he said, please join me for dinner. You will see that we are not all terrorists.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then walked away with this group. And we're just, the proverbial mouth drop. And just, wow.
Yeah.
And we were Wes. And he was explained who we were, because we were in the majlis, and these were all these 50 some odd sheikhs eating, and in a fluorescent lit, place. It wasn't fancy, and it was just when it was explained who we were, and they were following T.E. Lawrence's path, see for our own eyes and to meet the people. They didn't clap. They were like, acknowledgement. And then we were given through his people basically an endorsement of safe travel. Through the light.
That's awesome. That is amazing. So
what we saw was because we wanted to be on the ground, we wanted to be next to the people. We didn't want to be in Suburbans and flying through the desert. We were in local cars with local people who would take us distances and then turn around, and then we'd pick up another car, or we'd camels or something. But it was their story coming from within them. If there was any level of aggression, it was about the other side. For instance, we went through a checkpoint in Amman. We were on our way to the Dead Sea. We wanted to spend Easter on the Dead Sea, float in the water. There's all the Dead Sea mud. There's a whole cosmetic line of Dead Sea stuff. Anyway, we came up to a checkpoint. It was one of 39 that we went through. And the man said passport, and the driver handed our passports and his papers. And there was a truck in front of us, and the truck pulls out. As the truck's pulling out, we're pulling ahead, and all this is happening. But I'm watching this, and then I'm looking at the truck pulls away, and then there's a tank with the barrel of the tank right in front of us, and it's lowering off the truck down to our little car.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I said, and I was in the front seat. I said, Miles, you see that? He said, I saw it. I said, the barrel moved. This guy's talking to the people.
Right.
The guy gets in full flak outfit, mask on, and an assault rifle. Go on top of a stanchion between the driver and me and Miles in the back, just going just like this.
Oh my gosh.
While the other person next to him is asking questions. So there was this kind of security that was happening.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And so we pulled out, and we took the left-hand turn. We're on the road. There's north and south in the Dead Sea in Jordan. And I said, Mahmoud, our driver. And the driver came from Seeds of Peace.
Okay.
He said, oh, we have a driver. Use our driver.
Okay.
He'll drive you to the Dead Sea and pick you up. It's great. It's great. But I said to Mahmoud, and he's driving. And I see this man, I look at him, and he's just like staring, and he's shaking.
He's probably gripping that steering wheel so hard about what he just saw.
What was that all about? And he just went right across my face. I look over, and I'm looking across the Dead Sea to Israel.
Oh.
I sick to my stomach. I mean, I just felt his rage, his anger, level of hatred. Yeah. And it's like, who is this guy? Yeah. It turns out, afterwards, we found out he was Palestinian.
Oh.
We had an issue. And they said, the word was, well, Mahmoud is Palestinian. We're sorry. They said he was furious. He just got in an instant. Wow. Well, he's done that before. We don't, we're going to check on him.
Wow.
Watch him.
Yeah.
Because he was so livid.
Yeah. Wow.
But it was that moment of that barrel watching. Wait a minute, the barrel's moving. Yeah. It wasn't moving.
Yeah.
It was moving. It was like,
yeah.
It's like, on me, it's like.
I can't even imagine, like, being in a car and seeing something like that. I would be traumatized. So you can just imagine.
And there was camouflage over it, but the barrel was moving.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Yeah.
So that was a moment of recognition, and in different places, seeing how other people are treated. Airports, at immigration in Israel. Okay. That was a supreme example. I was asked questions and whatnot, and so fine. And it seemed aggressive, but it's for a reason.
Exactly.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's because no messing around.
Yeah. That's true.
It's like when you talk about Colin Powell, it always seems so serious. Yeah, because he's dealing with in his head, and the situation is so huge. Right. And, I will say, he knows how to dance, he knows how to have a great time. I for one of these events, I had the, what did I have? I had the Coasters. Who was it? It wasn't them. I had a band, an old rock and roll band, and they said, "Hey, man, you think Colin Powell? We can meet Colin Powell. Can we meet him?" And I said, "Yeah, I think we can work something out." Right. I went up to Colin. Yeah. These guys want to meet you. Yeah. He said, "Would you be able to go back and say hello to them?" They were backstage. The backstage was in a hall up there. It wasn't really backstage. It was. There. Right. He said, "Yeah, got right up out of his chair. We're right back there. Hey, homie, what's going down?" Yo, I've been listening to your music forever, man. What's doing?
Oh my God. That probably most likely made their life. You know how somebody say, "Oh my gosh, that made my day."
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Love your music, listening to music from forever.
Yeah.
You know?
That is awesome. Oh my gosh.
So the things towards Americans, what we saw the moment people looked at the passport, it was plexity. And if it was in Saudi, they would say Ameriki. And they would be serious. Ameriki.
Right.
Ameriki.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Why are you here? What?
Wow.
A consultant?
Right.
Consultant. In those days, it meant the security companies like Blackwater, Triple Canopy, Centurion, or the security companies hired by corporations and people that could pay the bill to have personal security.
Okay.
Because we looked more military. We weren't military, but it could be possible. And we said, no. Entertainment.
Okay.
And they just, whether they understood or not, they understood no on the la. Consultant. And so we were not mistreated.
Oh, that's good.
And it was more like being invited inside the tent. That's where we inside.
Yeah.
And we ended up a year and a half later securing a contract and doing an 8-day sea festival in Saudi Arabia.
Oh wow,
and again,
that's awesome.
Traveling by myself, 13.5-hour flights, multiple cities, going through Frankfurt, going to De Gaulle, Paris, going through all these places to get to Dubai. Landing, I did a lot of travel on my own, solo travel, and all of those were with purpose at a high level. And my travel during those days was always business class, and it was comfortable, and it was covered by people that wanted me.
Nice.
I mean, there was a time when I've done a lot of travel for business solo and going to places and meeting new people every day and performing or doing something having to make flights and produce a show of sorts and on the go. Right. I've done a 21 city tour. Right. Around the United States and Toronto in over a couple of months. Right. And just going all the time. Right. And being alone and learning how to adapt, learning how to not go crazy on food, learning, all the things. Yeah.
That's the one thing too. I always say I don't care if it's traveling, if you're going somewhere locally, out of state or out of the country, just remember wherever you're going, look at it as though you're going to someone's house. Yeah. Go there and adapt. Be respectful. That's the only thing. And you'll be surprised at how the people, wherever it may be, will welcome you.
That's the inside the tent. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You're invited. Come in.
Yeah.
Come in.
Yeah.
My home is your home.
Exactly.
Tell me your story. Where are you from?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it really has been that way.
Exactly.
And there hasn't been conflict. There has been pushback. The people say, well, you went through 39 checkpoints? Yes. Yeah. Well, went through a couple of them. Yeah. You're probably, it's probably easier to know. Every checkpoint is a checkpoint, and they're armed, and you don't know the people. They don't know you. Exactly. And you don't know. You can't assume anything.
Exactly.
You just put that beat between stimulus and response.
Yep.
You get a message, hold, and be calm, and then come back with your answer.
Exactly.
It's intentional, and our training was with a security guy. He said, "There's one word that says it all when you travel: graciousness."
Exactly. Yep.
Be gracious.
Be very gracious, and you'll be surprised at what that gets you. Even with me living in a completely different country, people have asked me, because I'm female, I'm here by myself, I'm African American, or I'm pretty sure you done had issues. No, I haven't, because I'm gracious. I'm gracious to the people that I meet every day who have helped me navigate. And that's what I loved about just reading about your bio, reading the book, how gracious you and Miles were, regardless to wherever it was you were at. Just the graciousness. So, yeah.
Cool. That's great. I'm glad that came through.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you get some people that say, oh, I had such a negative blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, but how were you originally? How did you approach everything? Because remember, you're not at home. You're not at your home. So, yeah. Graciousness, adaptability. So, yeah.
Right. See the other side, and it's
exactly.
Like, hey, man, how you doing? It's like, that isn't cool in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. That would not fly.
No. It's assalamu alaikum.
Exactly.
It's very
respectful. Yep.
And it's,
Yep. Just
no show. It's humility and graciousness.
Yeah. Because you're coming into their home. It's just like whatever behaviors and attitudes you may have in your home country, that stops at the door, which is the checkpoints. You leave that right there, because now you're going into somebody else's area. So yeah. Wow.
I sat on the ground one time with an interpreter when I was producing this event, and he said, "Look, on ground." I mean, it was. I'm not a spitter, but it was something wrong. He said, "Never."
Yeah.
He said, "That's sacred ground. This is Saudi Arabia." No.
Yeah.
And I said, "Anything else I should know?" He started listing them. Okay. Did I swear ever? No. He said, "Never get angry. Never swear. Never say goddamn."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Be sure to eat with your right hand. Always have your feet away from the table, away from when you sit down on carpet. Your feet are behind you. Do not, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
If you're sitting on the left side of the host, that's the place of honor.
Wow. So that, even though we laughed about you spitting on the ground, that opened up just that dialogue of this is what you should and should not do.
Right.
Because again, you're not back home. So it's just like,
This is fun. We were really, really tired. I mean, really. And we were in the Majlis. Yeah. And it's not quite like the book. I had on a suit and tie, and Miles also. Yeah. We weren't in safari clothing. Yeah. We were going to see like the number 3 guy in the country. Yeah. And he allowed us to do this. And so, but we're so tired.
Yeah.
Miles, when he sits, he crosses his legs, and leans back. Well, all of a sudden he's like, just a little bit. Yeah. I'm sitting next to him. Yeah. Osama's sitting on my right.
Yeah.
And Osama is over at Miles. And he says to me, tell Miles, uncross his legs. What? Tell Miles, uncross his legs. No, quick. Miles. Uncross your legs. What? Uncross your legs. He goes, what? I mean, he uncrosses his legs. We look across on the other wall. This is at the Modulus. And all these sheikhs are sitting there.
Oh my God.
Like, no, and they're not. They're just stern. They're just. And that's something that a man doesn't do.
Because, yeah.
Cross his leg.
Yep. You're showing disrespect to your host.
I don't know. It's like, but when Osama's here, it was just so funny. Tell Miles to uncross his legs. What? Well, Miles to uncross his legs.
Right now.
Oh, Miles, uncross your legs. It was like,
to be a fly on the wall to see that interaction with the three of you guys.
Yeah. With all these guys on the other wall, and they're all like, I mean, red beards,
yeah,
henna dye, and just no one was sitting there with sunglasses and no, there weren't any glasses on.
Yeah.
There were just, they all looked ancient.
Yeah.
Ancient.
Yeah.
Anyway, customs and being able to adapt, but it's being conscious.
Exactly.
Of it.
Exactly.
And knowing a little bit about it before going in, you know.
So
it's been very nice.
This has been really awesome. I've enjoyed it so much. So before we wrap it up, I just have one other question. What advice would you give someone who is on the fence or a little nervous or scared about just taking that leap of taking that first trip, regardless to if it's locally in their area, out of the state that they live in, or even out of the country? What advice? Because, I mean, you've been all over this world. What advice would you give that person?
I would say learn something about where you're going, because then there's intention, you know, and know that there are 3 places. We always think in terms of 3 that you want to go to if you can, that you're looking forward to it. Right. And so it's almost like a drawing. It's like a magnet pulling you there. And so you look forward to that. And the small things, getting on the plane, getting the bus, so you have to do 3 forms of transport, getting the train. I've never been on a train. Right. Find out, get the map to the train station and find out exactly where you're going to go and see it in your mind's eye. Take that time. Live part of this beforehand. Know where you're going to park, how long it's going to take to get from your parking to the airport through, you know, TSA. Yeah. Getting, you know, the time of day. Right. And so being informed about what you know what you know. Exactly. And then the actual happening of it is the adventure. Well, yeah, but you're all prepared. You're prepared for it. Yep. And you know that you've got the things in your bag that you need, that you like. You've got your night outfit that you always wear. Right. Bring a little thing of your shampoo if that's what you need. Exactly. Just those sort of things. Yeah. And you know that if you have to go out and look nice, you've got a top to do it. Exactly. You know, depending upon where you're going and what your plans are. Yeah. And think specifically. Don't overthink. Just think specifically. Okay. Exactly. Transportation, food, what time should I eat? Should I bring something for the plane or the train or the car? Right. And be excited about getting there. Yeah. Because the practice is part of it. It starts with a little bit of planning. Because that will spark the curiosity. Oh, this is going to be great. Yeah. Well, that's what I found. When I did that first trek into the woods, getting stuck and finding out there's a bear.
A bear. I don't think I can do this.
It's so dark in here. How would you even see it?
Exactly.
Flashlight out in order to see where I was going. It was like morning time and like mid morning.
Yeah.
So it's filling yourself in with what you can, and you're accountable for that, and that should be on you. Yeah. You enjoy that process.
That is awesome. So I just want to end before I end with a quote that I actually took out of the book because I loved it so much, because I think it applies to everything you literally just said. But again, what's the name of your book, and where can listeners find you, or, podcasts, more books?
Sure. The name of the book is A Line in the Sand by Miles Spencer and Wells Jones. And we're on Amazon. We're in book form. We're in Kindle, and then the audio.
And audio.
Eduardo Ballerini is. And so that's how you can find it. If you want to, this podcast is the one to listen to. So if you're listening to this, you want more, because it's in different directions. Wells Jones podcast, and there's quite a number. I'm surprised. It's been a wonderful journey, being able to talk about the adventures and the way things took shape.
Exactly.
And maybe that will inspire a listener to do something.
I think I so believe, like I said, the very first time we talked, I think so many people will be so inspired just by the words, just by listening. So, and with that, I'm going to end it with, there was a part in the book towards the end where Magnus, was looking up at the moon, and he said this quote that just, oh my gosh, it just resonated with me so much. And basically it says, time is the fire in which we burn max. We have to achieve what we can while we can. And I think I took that as, life is short. I always say life is short, live it to the fullest. And when I seen that quote, it was almost like, do what you can now while you can, because tomorrow is not even promised. So do what you can while you can. And I love that quote. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really wonderful.
Yeah. That is awesome. So thank you so much, Wells, for agreeing to even come on my podcast. I so love this. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. But thank you so much for just giving me so much of your time and just agreeing to come and talk about your journey through just solo traveling and just the things that have shaped just your life. I appreciate it so much.
April, it's been a great pleasure every second. Thank you.
Thank you. And as I always say, my moonbeams, have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.